home. Oh my god, they will absolutely hate this turn. And you know what? We will absolutely love this turn. Well, they probably never expected this advance. That here you go, that's our cool Overlord. And of course, we will get some extra value because we deserve the value. I want to get it as cheap as possible so I can basically, save mana for next mono red match. Here you go. Here you go. We can also live game with this. Man, this is so strong. This is actually so strong. We could also just play a normal land. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today I'm super excited to showcase you this deck, and I did some research on this one, so believe me, after you finish this video, you'll be as excited as me for this one. So basically this is... Don't run, it's like a pixie bounce deck, but it's different. I promise you it's different. Because the idea for the deck from the author himself from Pro Tour is that they kinda wanted to dodge the typical answers to like the bounce decks. So they went with completely different strategy, and this brings back Serra Paragon to standard. And I have to say, after playing with this deck, it feels like a control deck. It actually plays completely different than the bounce decks. You go way longer games, you have way more value, and you have so many decisions, because with Serra Paragon you can, for example, sacrifice Momentum Breaker or Grim Bauble and just recast it at the next turn basically, while discarding cards, killing creatures, all of this stuff. So it's like a bounce deck in a way, but you also get infinite value from this, and when Serra Paragon dies, you can go for Overlord. You can use this to protect creatures. You even have sweepers, and the cherry on the cake, Scrollshift, the card that is insanely powerful in the right deck, and usually the right deck is with Overlords, because you can bounce this and basically at the end step create a 5/5 out of nowhere. You will see it in today's video, and you will see how this one single play takes over completely the game. And with this deck you have so many targets for this, you always have decision how you want to steer the game. So honestly this is fun, like super fun, and this dodges all the lockdowns. Like normally bounce decks kinda fall to a single lockdown, they have nothing because their whole deck is 1 and 2 drops. This deck doesn't have this weakness, so that was the idea behind this deck, to go into the tournament without having the weakness of typical pixie bounce deck, and I think they did it perfectly, and I'm super excited to play the deck. So guys, that's enough. I hope I got you a little bit excited, and the games today will be pretty solid, so yeah, I think you will have a lot of fun. So let's enjoy the moment and let's go to the ladder. Oh boy, black mana, white cards, that's how we do it. Should I really mulligan this? I hate mulliganing with this type of decks. I'm taking it. If I don't draw the lands, it's fine. We have Momentum Breaker, so we have Bubble Momentum Breaker. We should have some time. Probably not too much, but some time. Alright, see? It's working. It's working. We have to go for the passage on this turn, because on the next turn we'll already start using white mana probably. Yeah, I think we go for white mana, especially that we need double white for Beza and Paragon. Here you go, here you go. We don't show the second color. It is actually an important information. Yep. Alright, this is getting nice. So definitely Momentum Breaker into Pixie. That's how we do it. They will probably play 2 creatures on the next turn, so I'll be honest, Momentum Breaker will probably not be the best play. I will go with the Bubble on this turn, simply because they will definitely have this Otter, and probably something that is way better than Otter, unless they keep some interaction going. So Bubble basically hits the same as Breaker, but it's cheaper and you can target it. Here's your honk for the day. I know you missed it. I'll be honest, even though I know that the bounce Esper is kinda not loved right now, I prefer it like 100 times over Mono, because look, we are actually playing game. They have decisions, they have plays, we can predict what they are doing. It's so much different than, oh, did you draw removal 3 times in a row? Completely different gameplay. I like this one. We can get a card. We cannot pain ourselves. So we don't get the creatures who are... It's not the worst deal. I don't want to go for the Paragon on this turn. We could also go Overlord into removal. It's not bad. This will deal a lot of damage, but with Beza we should be fine. Let's go for it. We're not taking blue mana yet. We can always use the passage later. So, second white. We don't really want to attack, so we won't get the tokens. But card and, well, only card. And a 4-drop, I think it's a good value. I think it's pretty good value. However, we will have to be smart about the next turn. Overlord seems pretty nice, but we can also go Grim Bauble Paragon, but then we don't get the Paragon value unless we go for Fabled Passage. I mean, we don't have other permanents. We can get one with Breaker, we can sacrifice this. Destroy Evil is good. They invested the whole turn for it. And they want to attack, so 5 damage acquired, good for them. Good for them, we cannot block. We don't want to waste any value for this. Oh, now you got my attention. Alright, we could go for the Overlord, but then I think we go for Day of Judgment. We will never get better deal than this. It's like 3 for 1 in a way. And we got maximum. It will matter because we want to sacrifice this later for the Paragon. Let's go. Day of Judgment. And this deck kinda feels like a control, you know? Like, it's closest to control we have. You know, except Azorius control. But you have seen this one probably 1,000 times. Alright, 4 cards to go. Do they have something in the graveyard? Only Destroy Evil. It's not a bad card, but it's also not very good. Like, they need to pay 6 mana to get it. Anchorage is absolutely painful. I hope they won't go for it. I should probably bluff the priority, but I'll be honest, I'm too lazy and nobody will play around one Smite. Because it's only Smite that would do anything with this mana or the Dispersal. But the deck doesn't make sense with Dispersal. So what do we do on this turn? We could go Overlord. I really want to kill this. Alright, I think I know. We play this. I could go for Pixie. I wanted to go for Fabled Passage. But you know what? We won't have enough mana, so we still go for it. And we bubble. You really want to keep the board clear in this kind of gameplay. So we force Paragon to be removed. I don't have doubts that our opponent will kill Paragon, but I hope it will be expensive at least. And then we can get it back with Overlord. Which means that we can Paragon again, then get something from the graveyard, maybe Momentum Breaker, maybe Bubble, or maybe Fabled Passage. And don't forget, we gain life when we sacrifice this, because it adds, when this permanent is put into graveyard from battlefield, you exile it and gain 2 life. So we're at 15 basically. And we need to be careful of Hopeless Nightmares, because they are playing this black mana. Okay. They actually went for the... Oh, that's so bad, unless they have a land here. They don't? They don't. That's huge. That means they don't have the answer to Paragon, and they decided 6 mana is worth it, because at least they answer it. Let's go for it. I think we have islands only, so let's go for the first of the islands. Oh my god, this draw is absolute god tier. Oh man, this is going great. This is actually going great. So we definitely go for this. We want this free value. And I mean, let's go for the bubble because it's cheaper. We kill the otter. We also have this. We prepare the Anchorage, which is super nice. We can go for the Overlord, but not for the big one. This is non-land, right? Yeah. But Anchorage is too slow to kill us. I think if we are aggressive, we should get enough value. And the maximum speed is nice. I'm kinda considering the Overlord. It's not bad value, but I think it's just better to hardcast it on the next turn. Especially that this will probably die. So Overlord will basically give us instantly Paragon back. Right now we don't have Paragons. Whoops. Now you know. And Nowhere to run. Sure. The first one. That is okay. If they go for any kind of oh, we also gain. Man, I forgot that this one also has this. Man, this is so good. Look how hard it is to race. I have to say, this deck is exceeding my expectations quite a lot. Serra Paragon is such a great card, and Overlord is amazing. Like, this deck just feels perfect. Risky, because now they can kill Paragon and deny the option to play Breaker. And I mean, we can still protect our Paragon if we care. Do you think I care? I kind of feel like I care. This is such good value on the next one. I will play it. Alright, I don't really want to bounce it. Of course they get the value from it. We could go for the map token or Bauble. Bauble will be useful at some point. Map is probably not very good for them. I will go for Bauble. And now we are getting Paragon, we can get the full value. So they wanted to do it at the upkeep. So we cannot use the, the value from this amazing card. With Paragon we'll have 3 mana, so we cannot go Beza. But we can go Momentum Breaker and get them to 1 card. It's not amazing, to be honest. I honestly think we go Fabled Passage. We should have enough, right? Yes, we have exactly 4 mana. But we cannot go Beza. Man, for some reason I thought it doesn't matter the converted cost, but it of course does. Right, let's make the play. We just get solid value from this. It's fine, we take it. We break their momentum a little bit. And then they will break ours. Alright, let's play this and say go. This also holds priority super nicely, so I like it. We have the Anchorage, we have Overlord when they kill this, so they will go for Destroy Evil, I would guess. If they draw a land, they can play it on this turn. If not, they actually need to wait full turn before this happens, which is not what they want. Cool. I got 5 life from this, man. This is extremely nice draw. Oh, it got exiled. It got exiled. I want to go for Overlord after they kill the Paragon. So I guess we just go Fabled Passage. It doesn't give us lands, we don't have those. We could also Grim Bauble, which is not great play. I think we just go for this. This is live game, it's fine. We'll go with the Hunter. Alright, not the best draw of the year. But we can get so much value from this. And map token will go on cat, so it starts to be a threat. And we are at maximum speed. Do I want to shuffle? We don't really shuffle. We can just, not go for it. Killing, you know what? Pumping Anchorage is actually better because they have nowhere to run. If we hit and we want, we would go to 4 toughness, but unfortunately it didn't work. Okay. Down to 10. 10 to 25, but we are not winning yet. They have this, which is pretty cheap, so now they have very good turn. They have 4 mana open after this. Sure. And this is always on the card, so we don't really need to activate it while Paragon is in the battlefield. Now we can go Overlord, we get the Paragon, and with Paragon we get something else, hopefully the cat. And I really want to get them low, because then they need to respect the cat. Which means they will kill it, and then we can get it back and draw a card with Paragon. And those few cards will win us the game. So that would explain it. Pixie is a nice one. Pixie is a nice one. Do I want to go with Anchorage on this turn? Probably not. I don't think we do. So, we attack with the cat, and we see what's up. They know about Bauble, so they won't block with Anchorage. It's just a bad play for them. And we have enough cards that we can mill ourselves for a long time. We go for the full value. We can even protect it, if we care. And I think we still go with Pixie. Especially that when Pixie dies... Oh, we could go Jace. But I will be greedy. I probably should go for Jace, but I like Paragon. We already seen enough Jace probably, so let's go for this play this time. So Pixie can get the cat back and we can replay the cat. Which means we got another card. It will help our opponent knowing that we don't have interactions, but I don't think bluffing is worth just not playing cards at all. Alright, not the craziest card of the year. They also don't know we don't have basics in the deck. See, I told you, they had this and that's why they were thinking so long. That's also the reason we put so much pressure. Now they need to answer 3 different creatures, and they probably can, but it will cost a lot of mana. And probably a lot of cards. Now they can go for level 2 and keep this town, right? But we have Bauble. Bauble is so good here. And every time we attack with Overlord, we are getting mad value. We can even take Jace, just for card advantage. I didn't take Jace because it's not like we will mill them, and drawing cards is nice, but Jace doesn't help you kill them. Like, having extra creatures just gives you so much more pressure. And see, they cannot keep up. Alright, our opponent is going first. I have to say, this is a pretty weak hand. I would not be surprised if we lose with this. We are on the draw with absolutely 0 removal. But I really don't think it's bad enough that we can warrant like mulliganing. Like, the mulligan will probably be worse than this. Oh my god. I'll be honest, I would not. I can already scoop this. Like, the game is kinda over. So what can we do here? I mean, we'll definitely play this, right? We have nowhere to run at least, so we can bounce it on turn 3. So with this, we at least have 2 removal spells. I should definitely make stops. Oh, they hardcast Demonic Ruckus. That's not how you want to use the card. So maybe they misjudged a little bit. Like, this is the slowest card. 2 mana for +1. That's not the ratio mono red gets normally. And now we can kill it. This is interesting. I think we still go with this, but how do we play? We need to get rid of this. Simple as that. We'll probably wait for combat phase. They cannot pump it, but they can manifest dread, like this, you know, +3 thing. So it is a little bit safer to kill stuff right now. Alright, let's kill stuff right now. I don't love it, but let's be honest. Against mono red, you never love your plays, especially if you're on the draw. So they at least didn't get the damage, they still get the card back, which is unfortunate. But preventing all of this damage is huge, and now they have no board. Sometimes you can get lucky and your opponent just had 1 creature. I've seen this kind of hands and they scoop basically after a single removal, but of course we won't get to this cool scenario. Let's see what they are playing. Oh, now they are plotting. The evil mono red players. I can kill it in response. I kinda really like this play. I think we go with it. We also draw a card. We play the land for the turn, so like we are developing. It's not perfect, but it's doable, and we can always go for this in the worst case. I'll be honest, we are starting to have some options. I absolutely want to hit a land. Like, the difference between 3 and 4 mana in this deck is basically like you get twice the power, because you can make 2 spells instead of 1. And I think this is a great moment to go for it. We draw the card, we kill this, we bounce this. We deny the Ruckus, we don't get the damage. Listen, I call it a pretty decent deal. Of course they will probably play another creature, right? Please just don't have the next one. This is a famous triple scamp strategy. Very strong. We don't have blue mana. That's awkward. Overlord, not good. Hunter, a little bit better. Which sounds weird, but it actually is better. Unfortunately, it shows our opponent that we have no counterplay to this. I will still try. Alright, I guess we got removal. Tapland, of course, on this turn was absolutely devastating. That was basically the difference between going, you know, double spell or sweeping the board. And, I mean, having a scamp with potentially triple strike in the board. It's never great. Okay, this is huge. This did absolutely nothing, and they are left with 1 card. This card, I mean, we don't know if it's an instant, because this cannot be used to cast non-creature spells. Alright guys, alright, this is kinda huge. We can bounce it, but we could do it later. I can also go for the Overlord and get the cat. This is not a good play, I'll be honest, this is just not a good play. I cannot play Jace unless I want to complete, which is not very efficient. Legions to Ashes is not perfect as well. Bouncing should be better value than this, to be honest. I'm considering Day of Judgment. I think this is the play. And of course I'm making stops to bluff. We only get 1 damage, they have 1 card. And there is huge chance they don't have creatures right now, which means that we get free turn and now we win. See, that was a good play. I know you were like, oh, he's overthinking. And see, it worked, it won us the game in 1 turn. I think that's a pretty good deal. So what we will do is play a huge Overlord, because even if they get a haster, this can probably trade. And with triple Overlord, like, we are overflowing with value. It feels they have Lightning Strike. There's no creatures in the board, they have priority. So it's probably Lightning Strike and Burst Lightning. That's important to know. It could be Frenzy, we know they play it. Here's the cat for the future turn. This will be nice. So they should probably burn face. That's the only choice they have. They need to go absolutely all and hope they will get some double striking mouse or the challenger or something like this and somehow burn through everything, which probably won't work, but you know. I want to close the game pretty quickly. Beza is super nice. Oh my god, this card is great. This card is actually great. Most of all because it blocks basically everything and live games, which means their burn spells are so much weaker and it still adds to the lethal. Like, this is already 9 damage. I will get the life. They could burn themselves. If they had shock, they should burn their face, because then we don't get 4 life gain. That's a small interaction that you will probably never see us, but that's the best play. I think they can scoop, there's no way they're recovering, and we are killing them very quickly right now. So, 9 damage. And we hold all the mana on this turn, because this is the final turn of the game. I mean, let's go Paragon, it doesn't matter. With this, we are safe because we have bounce into removal. Do I want the cat? I mean, it's pretty cute, isn't it? Let's go for the cute cat. Like, it brought you a gift. Like, how can you not like it? Alright, and we'll draw a card, not a land, we don't care. If we get to this card, we go for the Paragon. Probably not the best play, it doesn't matter what we do, we won the game. They need to deal 17 damage through double removal. Like I'll tell you, it's not happening. All right, Grim Bauble, 1 mana just to destroy their morale, and I think they will scoop now. They should know. They should know. Yep, we will target. So what is your choice? Monstrous Rage. +2, huh? You really wanted this one. Sure, I mean, they can block this, but they still, well, I guess they don't perfectly die. So now, we will go with Pixie. We'll get the bubble, because I don't want to spend mana to win the game. I want to get it as cheap as possible, so I can basically, you know, save mana for next mono red match. Here you go, here you go. Alright, we're going first. I have to say, guys, this cat is actually super cool. Like, the more I play it, the more I like it. Alright, we have Courtyard into Verge. So, honestly, pretty decent opening so far. Scrollshift is always an amazing card. This could be a bubble turn. Like, you really want to get rid of this as soon as possible. Let's go. I think this gives us a little bit of, you know, extra value in the board, and also a 2/2. And this will always be handy. If I had 1 Pixie, I probably wouldn't make this play, because this card is just so good. Like, it basically lets you reuse every other card in your deck. So really, really good value. And now they are behind, right? They were ahead with the one drop, and now they needed to spend the whole turn just to answer Pixie, which we absolutely love. And now we can take Pixie back, or we could go for the hand. No, it's better to go this. When you have one black mana as well, so generally you want to prioritize black spells if you know that you are pretty short on the black mana. Loran will be kinda insane, right? So is Paragon. We will draw the 4th land. Oh, this is a hard choice. Both of those cards are amazing. But this just hits so many things, man. Alright, they should probably know what is spell for 1 white mana. I want to outvalue them. I think this is a very strong opening. Look, this is 2 for 1, this is 2 for 1, maybe even more, because if you exile something that does something, it also triggers the thing, then draws you a card. So it can be like, you know, a lot for 1. And this is a great enchantment to get rid of. Bauble? I'm sorry, Cat. I'm really sorry. I think this is the right call. This is probably our next discard. I think we'll just go with Loran here. This should be a decent value. We also get some extra pressure. They're kinda behind on the game, like tempo, so I don't think they will even want to go for level 2 for a very long time, because that will slow them down too much. And they're already behind, so we can skip that. That is fine. They will get all this value. This deck is just extremely strong. You need to burn through every combo. And we also have this combo, so it's like, you know, we are both doing it. I will try to go with Scrollshift maybe. It's not a bad play, right? They probably won't expect Overlord so quickly. I really hope they don't bounce it in response, so we will really see how they will use their mana. They have 5, we need them to tap at least 4. That's the strategy. If we can, we Scrollshift this, and we probably win the game, because they cannot fight it. Oh my god, they will absolutely hate this turn. And you know what? We will absolutely love this turn. This has 5 loyalty counters. Well, they probably never expected this at the end step. Here you go, that's our cool Overlord. And of course, we will get some extra value because we deserve the value. I really want to go for Loran, to be honest. I really want to go for Loran. Is that the best play? Probably not. I will still go for it. Alright. We'll go with this. We'll crack it. We will go with white mana, so the Verge is activated. This way we get basically 2 colors. I could also go for the black mana. Probably better choice. And now we go with the Overlord. We hit Kaito, we kill Kaito, and we get game-winning advantage. Oh my god. So what do we want to play? I think we'll go with Paragon. This is a great turn to play Paragon. I know we are not getting any value right now, but we force basically 2 different removal spells right now. Like, both Overlord and Paragon are game deciding, they need to kill both. And we have Fabled Passage, Fabled Passage in the graveyard, so we can also play land from this. What is going on? Return. Okay. Alright, you know what, that's a play. I have to say, this is indeed the play. So we will definitely bubble into Loran probably. We could also Beza. First things first, let's attack. We could also just go Paragon and play the land, which honestly is probably the best play. Man, this is crazy. I will take it. This is so good. 5 damage. Just making sure. Yep. We can also live game with this. Man, this is so strong. This is actually so strong. We could also just play a normal land, but then we don't live game. I think this is a little bit better. And we also get black mana, which means that we can double spell black spells on the next turn. And we got back to 20. Oh, and now I can... Okay. I absolutely calculated it, because we are a master of magic and we know exactly that this will be untapped land for perfect Grim Bauble. That this is definitely intentional. Man, this Scrollshift play won the game. Like, look at how much value this Overlord is getting. Like, we are not going below 7 cards at any point. And I have to say, this is a very cool tech. The only problem is that it's extremely expensive. 3 mana to bounce, like, it just burns through so much. Hopefully, oh boy, this feels so bad. And we can get the last card. We're going Day of Judgment. I would play the Momentum Breaker and get rid of the last card. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and I didn't think I would like this deck so much. Serra Paragon is not like top of my favorite cards, but in this deck it actually feels like playing a very cool control deck with so many options that you always can, you know, think of a cool idea how you want to win the game. You know, predict what your opponent has, get the card that you want. Is it Momentum Breaker? Is it like, you know, some Jace or just Overlord taking infinite value every turn? So I think this deck is very, very fun, and it plays more like a control than a lot of other decks. Honestly, probably one of the most like control-ish decks so far from Pro Tour, and it doesn't rely on creatures to win, it relies on all the effects that creatures have when they enter the battlefield. So I think it's super cool, and having the Jace win con also means that you are pretty nice against all the Beanstalk decks that tend to draw insane levels of cards, so they get to this 30 card library very quickly, and with Jace you can, I mean, you just mill them. Don't forget, you can use Overlord to get a Planeswalker, and when Jace -5s, it goes to the graveyard, and it's a Planeswalker in the graveyard. So this basically gives you 3 extra Jace, and you can bounce them even more. So we can have like this is the power of the deck. You have a lot of 1 and 2-offs, and you can decide which cards are good for the matchup, and you have some powerhouses like this. This card always gives you insane value. You can even blink Temporal Lockdown and just sweep the board at instant speed, basically. So this is super cool, and I hope I convinced you a little bit. And guys, before we wrap it up, as always, huge thank you to all the patrons that allow us to basically, you know, create all the crazy decks, check the tournament decks in best of 1, and sometimes go crazy with some dinosaurs and Vaultborn Tyrant. So really thank you guys, and if you ever wanted to support the channel, Patreon is probably the best way. You can also join memberships on YouTube, and yeah, you get early access to all the decks in both ways. So what more to say? I really like the deck. It's very hard to play because you have so many small plays. Don't forget also Paragon live gains. So you have insane levels of life gain in this deck. Not only you can sacrifice Momentum Breaker when it goes to the graveyard, it's perfect target for Serra Paragon, then you can play it, sacrifice it again, gain life again. Also you gain 2 life from the Paragon clause. It adds to every permanent that you gain 2 life when, you know, it should be put into the graveyard, and you can just keep doing it forever. So this deck has a little bit of everything, and you can decide what you need for the matchup the most, and it gets all the value from like bounce decks because you have those synergies, and at the same time it goes way higher in the curve, makes way more interesting games, and it also lets you to make just cooler decisions, so you always feel satisfied when you win, you know. Compared to like Esper Bounce, I would choose this one every single time. It's just cooler deck all over the place. So yeah, and it performed. I actually didn't mention it, but it went on Pro Tour, I believe 8-2. So at least this version that I took, and I mean, what more you want? We won't talk too much about the sideboard. It's a lot of cards that you have seen. And by the way, this deck was also designed so it avoids pest control, which is a very popular answer to, you know, all the like bounce decks, and also it hits of course aggro decks because we have so many 1-drops with this. But Pixie is extremely powerful card, and prepare to sit a lot in a lot of decks throughout the next years. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me if you liked it. I really hope you had a great fun. Thank you for watching and for being part of this channel. It is super appreciated, and you know, channel would not exist without you guys. So I hope you had fun. Thank you for being here, and see you tomorrow.